For the last several years, Akron-based Miss Dreadful have been captivating audiences with their unique blend of horror-themed rock and roll. Between bluesy hard rock riffs, macabre themes, and a dash of blood and guts, they're fun for the whole family, the Munster family, and the perfect soundtrack for your spooky season. All of this is proven on their bombastic LP 2018's Evil Hides. The Raw Alternative welcomes Miss Dreadful. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, talk us through a little bit of the history of the project, because I know this has been around now for several years.
Yeah. So it started out as a band, Dr. Dreadful, and through lineup changes and not really having a drummer, we decided to just kind of have it be a solo project. It's still a partnership with me and Jonathan Hatter, but just as me, Miss Dreadful. That way I could do whatever I wanted. I wouldn't have to worry about if I had a full band or if I wanted to do acoustic. So I think we changed it to Miss Dreadful. It was a few years ago, and we've been doing it like that ever since. Occasionally, we'll have one of our drummer friends play with us, and most of the time we just do acoustic shows now.
On your last full-length album, Evil Hides, that was a full band.
Mm-hmm.
And just tell us a little bit about that and how that came to be. Who played drums on that record?
That was Joel Rosner. He's someone that we've known for years. We met him through the first bass player I ever worked with, who's still one of my very good friends. He played drums with us. We recorded it at Lava Room in Beechwood, and it was a really good experience. He was able to do so much with our songs that I don't know who else could have given that album the sound that it has.
Great. It definitely captured most of that energy that you have live, especially when you're going full on. For those who may not know, I mean, this band is, Miss Dreadful is quite energetic, and you've played with some kind of top names like One-Eyed Doll, if I'm not mistaken, and
Yeah.
Wednesday 13. And
Yeah.
tell us a little bit what that was like.
It was cool. Like, I have my One-Eyed Doll pick with me today. That was one of my favorite experiences. We've opened for them a few times. They were so nice. And just watching them perform, the energy they have really inspires me a lot. And not only were they such an amazing band and such nice people, I was really lucky to meet some of my good friends through One-Eyed Doll. I found a lot of support in their fan base that I haven't really found in other places. Their fans are really amazing. Opening for Wednesday 13 was really cool too. We opened for him a few times. It's just, I guess it's exciting when you get to open for a bigger band. I don't know, it makes you feel like special or whatever.
It's a rush.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it feels like, wow. And I almost got like imposter syndrome in the past. Like, do I really? Then it's like, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. When it comes to the horror community, like, you have conventions and all the memorabilia and the cult classic movies. And I guess with how passionate those fans are, you definitely see that with the horror punk community. Same idea, just like two different artistic mediums, I guess.
Since it is October and autumn and spooky season, I think it's kind of appropriate to ask, especially with your project and it being horror themed, if anyone hasn't picked up on that yet. Talk to me a little bit about what's the attraction to horror or darker themes? Because I can tell a lot of your lyrics, there is a quality to them that is personal and is very songwriter, but you kind of filter it through this sort of fun, dark humor, horror aesthetic. So what is the attraction to horror? How does it exactly inspire you?
Okay. Yeah, you're exactly right. I do have songs that are more personal, but I try to put like a spin on them, like take an idea and run with it and create a story. Horror inspires me because it's fun. Like it's this escape from the boring everyday where you can I love slasher films, for example. So you can watch like the funny Friday the 13th movie slasher films, and yeah, you see a bunch of people die and there's blood and guts, and normally you don't want to see that, but because it's a movie, it's fun. It's this fun escape. It also allows me to express myself. It's the easiest way I have writing songs to express the ideas that I have. And to me, the darker parts of life and the scary parts of life are more interesting. They're more interesting to write about and to create art about.
Along with being so deeply involved in the horror rock, horror punk subgenres, have you run across any misconceptions throughout your time playing? People maybe getting the wrong idea, taking anything too literally? Any protests?
No protests. We once had we were playing at a bar slash restaurant, and I don't think they knew there was a show going on that day. So we started playing one of our songs about zombies, and they ran out of there with their ears covered. So either they thought we were really bad, or they were not into the subject material. And also, I feel like some people might think I'm a little bit strange because of what I write about. Like they don't know if I'm, gonna snap one day and just take a bunch of people out. And I remember one time somebody said that our song, it's not necrophilia if it's undead. It inspired something like, I think it inspired an obsession with a serial killer. I think it was Jeffrey Dahmer. And I was like, okay, well, that's not really the point of the song, but I hope you're okay.
It's important that people realize, at the end of the day, I mean, this is art. And
Right.
art is catharsis for many people, and art is expressed in so many different ways. And it's not all butterflies and flowers.
Right, exactly. Like, I would be so bored with my writing if I forced myself to write things that I think the mainstream would want to hear. It's just not fun. And when you take away what's fun for you, why are you even doing it if it doesn't mean anything to you?
Exactly. So, talk briefly, if you may, about your writing process, because I hear a lot of bluesy hard rock, coming out of. You don't really hear that a lot from newer bands, but it's. I should add though, it's not retro sounding in any way. You've really found a way to kind of bring these familiar sounds, but in a whole different light. So
Thank you.
or darkness, should I say, into a whole different darkness.
Thank you.
But tell me what inspires you and your songwriting process a little bit.
Okay. The songwriting process varies for me. When I was writing for the band, a lot of the time it would start out with guitar riffs and just trying to come up with cool riffs. And then I'd put the lyrics and the melody on top of it. Sometimes I'd write both at the same time. Now that I do a lot of acoustic stuff, it's flipped, where I'm writing melody and lyrics, and then I'll come in with the guitar. I'm also like really private with my songwriting, so I usually like to write by myself, and then once the song's complete or like there's some solid idea there, I'll share it. I'm getting better about that though. Like I'll actually tell Jonathan my ideas and like be like, I need you to help me with this. I don't know what to do with the guitar. Like, we'll kind of work on it together. So I'm getting a little better about not being super private. And yeah, you're exactly right. A lot of my music is like blues rock influenced. I grew up on classic rock, and so much of that is based on the blues. You can't have rock without the blues. So there is a lot of that in my songwriting, but there is some punk and a little bit of folk too.
Cool. Any new music in the works?
Um, no, I wrote a song this year, but other than that, I've been like so busy with personal life and having a house and trying to just get my shit together, I guess, that I haven't had much time for it. But now that we have a house, we want to put a studio in the basement and actually get back to that. And I want to learn the recording process more. And hopefully, sometime soon, I'll have something to put out there for everyone because I miss it. I really do.
And aside from that, any future plans looking into 2022 to maybe return to the stage?
Yeah, I'm kind of playing it by ear because like last year and this year with the pandemic, everything's been so weird, and I don't know what to expect next year because I thought this year would be better than last year, and it feels like it's gotten
We all
worse.
did.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's way too soon to tell if I'm gonna be playing shows next year. I'd like to say yes, though. I'd like to say we'll be at a place where I can do that again. So hopefully.
Thank you so very much, Miss Dreadful, for your time. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
And happy Halloween, happy Samhain. Get
Yes.
spooky, stay spooky.